My dear viewers, I greet you all with respect. With God's permission, today I will once again be with you in our Awakening 2 talk. Taking into account all of the various messages we have received and the many insightful comments made on our previous program after it was officially broadcast. Today I am going to briefly address two very particular points of interest for you. Now, the very first thing that we really need to know is this. God is the truth. One of God's names from the Asma'ul Husna is also Al-Haq, the truth. Yes, the religion of Islam is the true religion. The Quran is also a true book. Haq means reality or truth. We will focus on this point. So what does this Haq mean? You know, when we say Haq, it means the harmony that should exist. When we look at it this way, now you know, in these talks, I go straight to the essence. I leave the main contemplation on these matters to you with God's permission. Now, at the beginning of Surah Al-Kahf, in the 1st to 4th verses, our Lord says the following about our Quran. Praise be to Allah, who has sent down to His servant the book, and has not placed therein any crookedness to warn the wrongdoers. He says this. In other words, this book is first and foremost a book that warns those who are on the wrong path. It is a watchful book, and it is said that there is absolutely no flaw or defect in it, nothing contrary to the truth. A flaw. Now, as you know, regarding our Quran, in the 82nd verse of Surah An-Nisa, it says, do they not then reflect deeply on the Quran, arranging its verses in order to contemplate the truth? If it had been from anyone other than Allah, they would surely have found in it many contradictions. That's one. Now, again, in verses 27 and 28 of Surah Az-Zumar, and indeed we have set forth for mankind in this Quran every kind of example, so that they may take heed and reflect as a flawless Arabic Quran, so that they may seek protection under Allah's guardianship. Now, I could certainly present you with many more additional scriptural verses on this particular subject. You also know these things. First, the Quran is the truth. Let me put it this way when we say the truth. Deep within the pages of this Holy Quran, ye pay very close attention to this. There is absolutely no flaw to be found, no mere fable, no simple story, and certainly no baseless rumor. Yes, there is no mythology, no legend. Everything in the Quran is real. 2 times 4. As real as 2 times 2 is 4. The Quran is such a book. But right now, over time, certain commentators and certain traitors have presented and handed down to us about 80% of our Quran as if it were legend and mythology, and this might seem strange to you. Let's not forget this either. Yes, absolutely. Because after all, they used to say this in the past as well. You know, it's well known. It is said that there is no other nation or society that invents as many tales as the Arabs, tells them as beautifully as the Iranians, and believes in them as much as the Turks. And unfortunately, we have grown up surrounded by these tales until now. So what are we going to say? We will use our minds within the framework of these tales. We will use our minds against them. Now, there's something else as well. Look, in the Surah Al-Ankabut, it says, and we present these examples to people, but none grasp them except those with knowledge. See, only those with knowledge can comprehend them. You need knowledge in order to use your mind. Yes, Now, beyond this, again in Al-Ankabut 43, it says, Allah created the heavens and the earth in truth. Surely in this there is a sign and indication for those who believe. Now, in another verse, in Surah Al-A'raf, verse 179, it is stated that Allah has provided us with every capability to use our minds. And those who do not use this capability are described as people who are even lower than livestock. Let me also mention the same thing applies here as well. It is the same in Surah Al-Furqan. Or do you think that most of them will truly listen to the revelation or use their intellect? They are nothing but like animals. In fact, in terms of guidance, they are even more astray, more bewildered, and lower. These are also the expressions found in Surah Al-Furqan. Now, dear friends, as I said, all the things in our Quran about past peoples have become mythology. Since I mentioned these in the previous talk, about the people of Ad, the people of Thamud, the people of Lot, I'm referring to these through them. Now they are looking for miracles. If Allah wanted to, couldn't He do it? Of course, Allah can do it. Allah has already done what He would do. There is something called Sunnatullah. Sunnatullah is the order that Allah has established in the world. The laws of physics, the laws of chemistry, the laws of biology, we call these Sunnatullah. Allah has established these. He is carrying them out. Now let's explain this here in every aspect. But now, or according to the stories from the past, I would first talk about Moses. Moses, with the staff in his hand, either stretched it out over the Red Sea or struck it. The sea did something. 600,000 people crossed the 102-kilometer area on dry land between two peninsulas like this. Does reason accept this? Even if not just Moses' staff, but 6 billion people's staff struck that sea, it wouldn't open like that. There is something that God is conveying there, but it's something else. But they told us this as a fairy tale. Let's not forget this. This is how they told it to us. This is how they wrote it. And they still keep making movies about it non-stop. Fresh, fresh, fresh. I mean, they never get tired of it. Let me point that out here as well. Secondly, they take Moses up to Mount Tur. What did he do there? Moses received the duty of prophethood there, or rather he was about to receive it. He is going from the plain to the mountain. While passing there with his animals, his wife and his children, on Mount Tur, in a valley on Mount Tur, you know the valley, he saw a fire coming from inside a tree. And at night he went there. A man at the foot of the mountain cannot see the valley at the top of the mountain. Let's not forget, Allah never says he saw a sign, but rather he sensed it. So what do we call what he saw? A burning ember fell into his heart, an ember to save his people. That fire. What was there is, first of all, not something that can be seen rationally. Do you know what the second thing is? Find pictures of Mount Tur on the internet. There is definitely not a single tree there, not even a thorn grows. There isn't even a thorn. Look, don't forget this. There isn't even a thorn there. So then, what is the tree in the valley where Moses was? What is that tree? It has nothing to do with these things. Now, all the words related to Tur in connection with Moses are about Moses' attitude. Attitude. The word attitude means stage. It means the stage of prophethood. Tavrul Iman means the most sacred, the holiest stage. It is the rank of prophethood. None of those words have anything to do with Mount Tur. 1. Let me tell you something else about Mount Tur. What we call Mount Tur appears in the Quran as Turi Sina and Turi Sina. In 2 verses, well, those are our southeastern Taurus mountains. They are places with olives, figs, and so on. So these are mountains rich in trees and fruit. Those are also the Taurus mountains. It refers to the southeastern Taurus mountains that you know, the cave of Hira. Here's another tale for you. They claim that the Prophet secluded himself there for months, even years, in a place where not even a fox would hide. Is this reasonable? Is this something that makes sense to the mind? So let me wrap up this topic like this. Excuse me, but let's not forget this. At the end of verse 100 of Surah Yunus, sorry, not Nisa, Yunus, God places impurity, punishment upon those who do not use their reason. So what should we do to truly understand the Quran, to properly understand Islam? We will use our reason. We will question everything that has been written for us, especially the stories attributed to God and the Prophet. Goodbye.